People out here is barely deadlifting 500 pounds, deadlifted, and a gorilla can lift 1,800 pounds. We are emotionally ignorant. We know how to deal with anger. We might know how to deal with happiness. We do not know how to deal with sadness. You think your emotions are just the way you feel, but it affects your body, it affects your mind, it affects your spirit, it affects how you interact with other people. I say all of that to say this: men, let's be realistic. Let's embrace the fact that we have emotions, and one of those emotions that is rational is fear. I could completely understand why men are out there saying 100 men could beat a gorilla. And I did a little bit of research, just a little bit, to look up exactly how strong is a gorilla and how could men actually compete against a gorilla. So if 100 men were to take on a silverback gorilla, a single silverback gorilla, a single silverback gorilla would likely win against 100 men in a physical fight when these men don't have weapons, assuming the men are average, unarmed, and lack coordinated strategy or training. Here's the reason why. A gorilla's physical advantages. A silverback gorilla weighs 300 to 430 pounds. Now, are there some men out there that weigh 300 to 430 pounds? Yes, but they don't move like a gorilla. They don't, okay? They have immense muscle mass. What a 300 to 435 pound man will have is immense fat, not muscle mass. Their body fat percentage is going to be through the roof, okay? And a gorilla is capable of lifting 1,800 pounds. 1,800 pounds. People out here is barely deadlifting 500 pounds, deadlifted, and a gorilla can lift 1,800 pounds. It has powerful arms and can deliver devastating blows. Gorillas are also built for explosive strength and agility with thick skin and bones that are hard to damage, okay? The average man is 150 to 200 pounds, lacks the strength and durability or natural weapons to even match a gorilla. Even in large numbers, humans without weapons or training would struggle to inflict significant harm. Punches and kicks, or grappling would be largely ineffective against a gorilla's robust physiology. So also, one thing I forgot to say, that a gorilla's bite force is around 1,300 PSI. Now, I don't know what the hell that is, but I know that's a hellified force. So 100 men go to try and attack a gorilla. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Even if it's coordinated and they try to swarm a gorilla to bring it down, right? And gouge out the eyes or something like that, because then maybe they'll be able to get the gorilla. You got to get close to the gorilla first. A gorilla can smack you in the face 5 times. You ever remember the cartoons? Three Stooges. I know I'm dating myself. Okay. Three Stooges wasn't a cartoon, but let's go cartoons or Three Stooges, where a person would throw a slap and then slap a bunch of people in a line, all with that one slap. That's what the gorilla would do to 100 men. Okay. Just not to mention, a gorilla can literally tear your limbs off. They can bite your limbs off. Okay. And maybe you sacrifice a few men to get close to the gorilla. But when those other men see what the gorilla did to those men that you sacrificed, they're going to turn and run away. Trust me. They're going to turn and run away. Men out here that they're going to argue me. You're going to at me. That's cool. I don't duck any smoke. Let me explain something to you. You and 99 of your friends can't fight no gorilla. You're going to lose. You also can't dunk no more. And if you can dunk, don't try it. Don't try it no more. Look, we blowing our knees and pulling Achilles at our age. Don't do it. Believe in the fact that, hey, maybe at one time you was able to do all that stuff, but that time has passed. It's over. And that's okay. Man, look, I am digging the fact that I feel like I'm aging well. I mean, yeah, my body hurt a little bit. Yeah, sometimes it's a little tougher to get up in the morning. My knees hurt. My bestie was over watching WrestleMania with me last weekend, and I climbed up on one of my little stools to do the yeet chant for Jey Uso. And I climbed up there real gingerly because the last thing I wanted to do at my age was fall. That's one of the main things. I don't want to fall. I don't understand why this is a novel concept. I don't want to hurt myself. So the only way that I know not to hurt myself is not put myself in those type of positions. Do I deadlift? Yeah, but not heavy. Do I squat? Yeah, but not heavy. I mean, I'm not doing no punk weight, but I'm not trying to figure out what one rep max is. I don't care. My ego isn't that big. Well, not that part of my ego. Anyway, yeah, men, Jesus. And it's going to feel like an episode where I'm bashing men, especially in the last segment. And what I'm bashing is the inability to be real with yourself. That's what I'm bashing. I understand it, guys. We were not taught how to deal with our emotions. We weren't. We are emotionally ignorant. We know how to deal with anger. We might know how to deal with happiness. We do not know how to deal with sadness. Real basic. We're real basic when it comes to our emotions. Real basic, because that's a part of toxic masculinity or patriarchy society. We are taught from a very young age when we fall and hurt ourselves to not cry. Women are allowed to express and lean into those emotions. We were not. And think about it, hanging out with your boys. Don't say nothing soft. I tell my boys now, every time I see them, every time that we had, any type of phone conversations, hey, I love you guys. Because I do. They're my brothers. Sometimes I don't like them. Sometimes I don't like them. Absolutely love them to death. Would do almost anything for them except for go to jail. But yeah, I love them. And I tell them that. And, there's a crew. It's me and my two other boys. And, one of us won't ever say it. I know he loves me. I know he does. He just don't want to say it. He's stuck in his ways and don't want to show no emotions because it feel like it's soft. Oh, whatever. Like I'm over it. My friend joked on me the other day because he watches the podcast and pays attention to the clips and is actually giving me good information because he does production and things of that nature. And he said, "Hey, yo, are you wearing a neck length dangling necklace?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am." And guess what? It's got a feather on it. He said, "You old Aaron Neville Montel Williams." And I said, "Thank you. That's what I'm going for." like I'm just comfortable in my own skin. Like I don't really care. Like I feel like I'm growing emotionally intelligent, and men need to start doing that. And I am seeing a lot of men that are my age, close to my age, slightly younger, that are embracing that. It's important to live a full life, and living a full life is addressing your emotions, because if you don't address them, they'll address you. They will address you, right? You think your emotions are just the way you feel, but it affects your body. Absolutely affects your body, right? It affects your mind, it affects your spirit. It affects how you interact with other people. Think about it, fellas. This is going out to my fellas and to my ladies. Okay. The fellas and my ladies, the he, she's, him, hers, they, them, all of them. It's going out to everybody that's around my age. That's a millennial. Okay. Maybe even Gen Z. Maybe Gen Z would even understand this. You ever had a parent come home from work, particularly your father, and you run away from him, not towards him, away from him? And the reason is because you don't know what type of day he had at work. Because whatever day that he had at work, he's bringing it home. Like Red from that 70s show, how he was so mad. He was mad because he never addressed his emotions and he hated his job. If you don't ever deal with what's going on inside of you, you could be a miserable person and you think you're just being miserable. No, you're affecting everybody around you. Everybody. So I say all of that to say this. Men, let's be realistic. Let's embrace the fact that we have emotions. And one of those emotions that is rational is fear. And it's okay to say, no, I wouldn't be able with 99 other men to fight a gorilla because I would be scared, even with those 100 men. Even with 99 people with me, we got 100 people, we're going to be scared. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the first time he rip off an arm or bite through a cheek or an arm or something, an arm or leg goes missing and he just flings it, I'm out. And what sucks is you can't outrun a gorilla. So some people going to really die. It's okay to embrace that fear. We don't talk about that enough as men, that we're afraid, and it's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be real. Because if you're not those things, you're stupid enough to think that you could take on a gorilla with 99 other men. And let me explain it to you one last time with emphasis. That's dumb as.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.